An arrest made in connection to 2 of 4 recent shootings in Sarasota, and reports of a shooting in Sarasota turns out to be a false alarm. What sheriff's deputies say really happened. Plus, a local man who beat drug addiction tells us his unique perspective on beating the illness. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, the opioid crisis continues on the Suncoast. Recently, Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi taking the issue into her own hands, suing the nation's largest opioid drug makers, blaming them for fueling an epidemic that she says kills 15 Floridians a day. Almost 5,000 drug-related deaths were reported in Florida in 2016. 90 of them were in Sarasota County, 173 of them in Manatee County. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live tonight in the studio with the story of one man who says he's recovering from his addiction one day at a time. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. Drugs continue to be a big problem, but there are success stories. Jeff Lynch is one of those success stories.
For 12 years now, Jeff Lynch has been clean and sober after many years of addiction to drugs and alcohol. He says if he can do it, anyone can do it.
There is hope for people that are seeking recovery. Complete abstinence for me is what's worked.
Lynch says the turning point for him was waking up in a fog on the floor of the Salvation Army after relapsing after being cleaned for 5 years. A person next to him had urinated on his leg. At that time, he was high on crack cocaine mixed with alcohol. In the past, he would get high on many different drugs, including speedballs.
I thought to myself, God, how did I get here? And then it dawned on me, I realized I took the first drink again, and that's how I relapsed.
Lynch, who is a veteran, says these are the 5 steps he follows every day that keeps him from relapsing. They include prayer, educating yourself about addiction, going to 1 meeting a day, calling someone in recovery, and praying again before the end of the night. What has also worked for Lynch is having his dog Boris right by his side. He now spends a lot of his time working as a maintenance man on Siesta Key, selling antiques all over the country, and meditating at the beach.
I'm happy, joyous, and free.
PJ Brooks with First Step of Sarasota is happy to see Jeff Lynch talking about his successes. He tells us it's important to celebrate recovery, especially with the opioid epidemic being such a huge issue on the Suncoast.
Recovery being anonymous often does not lend itself to allow individuals to come out and be open and share that they're in recovery. And I hope as a community we can be more supportive of that.
Lynch says there is a group that meets at the Siesta Beach Pavilion every morning, and that has helped him stay on the right track. He has this advice for anyone struggling with addiction.
Be persistent, make up your mind, make a decision, and do the deal.
Yeah, what a great story there. Coming up later in the show, we'll have an investigation into the opioid crisis. We'll take a lot of a closer look at what the federal government is doing. Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, thank you, Rick. A Suncoast congressman is hopeful that his bill that could create a national opioid database will clear a big hurdle in Washington today. Representative Vern Buchanan says the database would create a centralized source of information for patients and family members on how they can manage pain and avoid opioid addiction. The bill would also require the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to create a resource guide on its website where healthcare providers and patients can access all opioid prescribing guidelines. A House committee is expected to approve that bill today. A Florida law that bans smoking medical marijuana is now being called unconstitutional. Today, a Leon County Circuit judge heard arguments that challenge a law that bans patients from smoking medical marijuana. Those who oppose the law say the smoking ban violates a 2016 constitutional amendment that broadly legalized medical marijuana. Supporters of the law say smoking is a health hazard.
The duties of the state is to facilitate the safe availability of medical marijuana, not to restrict particular types of medical marijuana which they choose, like smokable.
Smoking is a crude delivery system that delivers harmful substances, is associated with various respiratory symptoms, contains many of the same toxins as does tobacco smoke.
Now, the judge ruling on this case is the same one that gave a Tampa man the go-ahead to grow his own marijuana. The state has appealed that ruling, and now that case may be headed to the Florida Supreme Court. New developments in a recent string of shootings in Sarasota. Joshua Bain is being charged with attempted murder in at least 2 of 4 shootings that happened in a 5-day period in the Newtown community. But detectives won't say which ones he's linked to as their investigation continues. Bain has a lengthy criminal record, part of the reason detectives say they're glad he's off of Sarasota streets. He's a 6-time convicted felon with more than 50 criminal charges.
I think there should be some reassurance from some of the people that possibly could have witnessed these incidents, knowing that this individual is behind bars and in custody, may make them feel more comfortable coming forward.
Bain is being looked at as a suspect in the 2 unsolved shooting cases. Police recovered a firearm and ammunition when they arrested him. They'll be tested to see if it was used in those shootings. Police are asking if you have any information on any of these shootings to call them. The FBI in Tampa says it's caught this man within the last couple of hours. He's accused of robbing the Wells Fargo on Bee Ridge in Sarasota 2 weeks ago. According to bank personnel, the suspect passed a note to a teller demanding cash and then ran away. Well, as the 2018 hurricane season quickly approaches, some students at McNeil Elementary in Sarasota got an interesting lesson in forecasting today. A member of NOAA's Aircraft Operations Center, the group that flies the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, stopping by the Hurricane Hunter, James Warnick, speaking to the 3rd graders about the mission of NOAA and also describing some of his experiences flying into these storms to gather data, one of which was his flight into Hurricane Patricia back in 2015, a Category 5 storm.
We fly right through the eye. We do a direct figure 4 through the eye at 10,000 feet. My primary position in the aircraft in storms is to drop instruments that measure various atmospheric parameters. Those instruments' information is then fed into computers, which then are fed to the National Hurricane Center.
After Hurricane Patricia, Warnick says the only other Category 5 storm that he has flown through was Hurricane Irma right before it made landfall. And our very own Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has had his own opportunity to fly through some hurricanes. Haven't you, Bob?
That's right, a couple of them back in 1996 and another one in 2004. Those one storm in particular was Ivan as it made its way toward the panhandle of Florida. Nothing like that right now. We have had a low, though, we were tracking early. That low has now since moved on, and this low pressure system is now going to move right over into the northeast, and once it's over land, not a concern, so there's no chance of it developing, which is good news. But it's also drawing a lot of tropical moisture our way, and you can see that moisture continuing to stream in this direction. A little dry air kind of worked its way around it earlier today. That's why we didn't get much rainfall at all along the Sun Coast. We had a few showers. We're getting some nighttime rain, and you can see that activity has been pushing off to the northeast. Pretty heavy right there at one point, and a few light rain showers approaching Lido as well as into Longboat Key and even into close to Siesta Key. All this pushing off to the northeast rather quickly. Some brief showers there in Parrish. We could see some redevelopment too after 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe some bigger ones developing and producing some moderate rainfall. They are moving pretty quickly though off to the northeast at around 20 miles an hour. This is a one forecast model. This isn't just the only one, but it's still suggesting that we will see rainfall during the morning hours and the possibility of some rumble of thunder too around 4 or 5 o'clock. This one's showing that rain moving off to the northeast, and then as sunrise approaches, skies will be partially cloudy with a few scattered showers along the coast. 76 right now. It's warm, it's muggy too, and the dew point temperature is way up there. Humidity at 91%. We have a south wind at 7. The pressure 29.98 inches. That's actually been rising a little bit. We'll have more on the shower activity for tomorrow coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Jack.
All right, thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you soon. We'll take a look at this, a sinkhole on the side of the road in Jacksonville. Witnesses say it opened up today near a condo complex. The opening is believed to be at least 33 feet long, 18 feet wide, and about 20 feet deep. That lane is now shut down indefinitely as state and city officials work to contain the collapse and then repair it. A Florida police officer is accused of abusing his teenage daughter, and it was all caught on camera and now getting national attention. Now, we do want to warn you that some of these images may be too graphic for some audiences. Thousands of people have seen this video that led to a felony child abuse charge for the Miami-Dade police officer seen here with his daughter. According to court documents, the incident happened back in April. Raymond Rosario hit his 14-year-old daughter with a belt, slapped her, and then punched her in the face after getting a call from her school saying that she disrespected her teacher.
This has been a very difficult situation for him. Obviously, it's being played out in the media. There's a court proceeding and so forth, and we all regret that this has reached this level, but it's our aim now to try to resolve it.
Yesterday, a judge ordered Rosarios to stay away from his daughter and her mother. New at 11, reports of a shooting near Coronado Drive in Sarasota today. Deputies were called to this apartment building around 6 o'clock. Luckily, nobody was hurt in that shooting. According to the sheriff's office, the gun was shot by accident when the owner was cleaning it. Now, just a reminder, before cleaning your gun, make sure to always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. This means that the gun is pointed so that even if it were to go off, it would not cause any injury or damage. Also, keep your finger off of the trigger. And lastly, make sure it's unloaded and that no ammunition is present in the cleaning area. The Manatee County Law Enforcement Memorial has a new venue. Instead of the courthouse, it will now be at the First Baptist Church in downtown Bradenton. That service is tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Those who want to pay respect to fallen law enforcement officers are welcome to attend. A big blow to Venice High School's football program, one of its major financial donors pulling its support following the firing of head football coach John Peacock. Bill Buck Chevrolet dropping its sponsorship of the program, and the dealership's owner starting a petition to try to have Peacock reinstated as head coach. School officials say they stand behind Peacock's firing after he liked a tweet that some viewed as racist.
You kind of would think that people just wouldn't care, but a lot of people care, and I think that they care because of the kids. That's one thing I think that we've lost focus on is what's best for the kids.
The school says they will begin the search for a new head coach starting next week. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus an investigation into the opioid crisis. We'll take a closer look at an oversight by the federal government. And we're learning more about Meghan Markle's bridal party and who exactly will be at the royal wedding. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I had been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, Bob, it was nicer than I expected it was going to be today.
Yeah, a lot of sunshine and breezy conditions as well. That low kind of feeding all that air into that low. That low is starting to fill up too, so we're not looking for it to develop into anything tropical. You know, just a few days ago it had a 50% chance of developing. Now it's gone, so that's good news. We are looking at the sunset tonight. Tower cam getting a glimpse of that sun setting, and a beautiful shot it was, as it is the case when you get a little cloudiness around. And we did get some clouds. There it is. I stopped it right there before the sun dropped below the horizon. The reason why, because this photo was sent in by Damon Powers. Look at this. This is doing really well on social media right now. This is of Lido as the sun was setting and a lot of clouds around, creating that gorgeous shot. And get a look at this, the reflectivity at Lido too. Dylan John Wade Cox getting a perfect almost as far as the reflectivity goes. Fairly calm there. The winds did let up, and so things were looking much better there. As far as the rain goes, you can see this down here. We'll keep an eye on it. It's moving north basically. So I do expect to see scattered showers and maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms overnight. We're not looking at anything too rough, but not everyone's going to get the rain either. That dry air that had been in place is starting to moisten up a bit, and we're seeing a little bit more action than we saw earlier today pushing on to the northeast. This is a kind of pattern that does favor inland storms in the afternoon and evening, bigger ones pushing toward the east coast. And then we get overnight showers with a southwest flow. In the summer months, typically it's a little bit more, but since the water temperature is just around 78, 79 degrees, we're not getting as many. A few showers at Lido right now, Siesta Key, a little downpour there briefly has now turned into some light rainfall. Parish, things are winding down. So right now, not too wet out there, but we are expecting, as I said, maybe after 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, another shot at some showers popping up here. That dry air is now moving off in toward Gainesville and Jacksonville. It had been right around us earlier today. That gave us the sunshine and limited shower activity. Another little piece of energy coming off Louisiana. You see it right there, spreading off to the southeast. That area of low pressure that we were watching to the north. A lot of dry air in the western Gulf of Mexico. Hasn't gotten here yet, but that could become a player down the road. The Futurecast is suggesting that we will see some scattered showers moving through, and then the heaviest activity by far inland, pushing off toward the east coast in the heat of the day tomorrow. So again, expect that to be the case, and then more showers expected during the overnight hours tomorrow night and into Friday morning. Well, this area had been flaring up just about 6 hours ago, and now it's calming down, being sheared apart. Strong winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, not allowing anything to develop, and that's pretty much what happened to that low. Water temperatures down here are fairly warm. You can see that 84 degrees here. Again, they're a little bit cooler, and in the Pacific, where the hurricane season has started, it's hot, 89 degrees there, and a little bit cooler here in the western Caribbean Sea. The winds will be brisk tomorrow again, 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusts as high as 20 anticipated throughout the afternoon, picking up a little bit more so then. And as far as our current conditions go, we do have a few clouds around 76. It's warm, it's muggy. South winds are at 7. For boaters tomorrow, scattered storms, winds out of the south at 15 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 3 feet, and a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature, as I mentioned, in the upper 70s right now. So 40% chance for scattered showers and storms. Most of the action in the afternoon inland. 50% chance on Friday. By Saturday and Sunday, it bounces up to 60, and we'll see more showers heading back toward the coast in the afternoon and evening. Temperatures still pretty close to seasonal averages. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thanks. Doctors are prescribing opioids so dangerous that the federal government requires additional certification. But a Raycom national investigation discovered Big Pharma is administering regulatory control with the government's blessing. Here's Lee Zurich with Licensed to Pill.
During the country's deadly opioid epidemic, the nation's largest drug distributor faces mounting lawsuits, sanctions, a company in the headlines for the wrong reasons.
McKesson has agreed to pay the U.S. government a record $150 million fine.
But while the federal government has accused McKesson Corporation of suspicious business practices,
it sort of shocks your conscience.
In 2012, the same federal government entrusted McKesson to begin overseeing a program responsible for regulating whether doctors properly prescribe the most dangerous opioids on the market.
Does that really make sense? No, it's given the inmates the keys to the to the jail doors.
About 7 years ago, the FDA approved what's called the Turf REMS program to prevent misuse and abuse of fast-acting fentanyl drugs, which can be up to 100 times more powerful than morphine.
The purpose of the Turf REMS program is to make sure that these drugs stay only with those that it's indicated for and it's proven safe for. And that has not happened. And having McKesson oversee it certainly is not going to serve that purpose.
Following a minor surgery, a family friend referred Hallowell's client, Dina Demarest, to New York City doctor Jeffrey Goldstein, who prescribed her a powerful fentanyl spray for cancer pain, Subsys. Demarest never had cancer.
From what he was giving me, people died from a lot less.
Subsys is one of 10 drugs in the Turf REMS program. Program guidelines require doctors and their patients to both review and sign this form, which warns them of the seriousness of the Turf REMS drug.
Have you ever seen a form like this?
No.
You've never seen this?
That form part of the program administered by McKesson.
McKesson declined our request for an on-camera interview. In an email, McKesson did write, the requirements of a REMS program are developed jointly by the manufacturers and the FDA, with ultimate approval resting with the FDA. The FDA also declined our request for an interview. The FDA admits to a hands-off approach to the program. They don't even know the names of the doctors Turf REMS certified.
A company handed the keys to an opioid oversight program with the blessing of the federal government that also fined McKesson a record $150 million for fueling the opioid epidemic.
A federal grand jury indicted Goldstein in March for prescribing Subsys for kickbacks from the drug maker Insys. Goldstein was not charged specifically for any Turf REMS violations. He and Insys did not return a message for comment. Sports is next, but first here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, Kimmel's all new, and Diane Keaton is showing some love.
The dream has come true for Jimmy Kimmel.
Plus, journalist Jim Acosta.
It's a good thing, it's a bad thing.
And order in the court, it's Judge James.
Issue hot.
Are you crazy? Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, Enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll find out from a Suncoast boutique what we should wear for our summer weddings to be on trend. Plus, any given child, Sarasota joins us.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Lightning are back in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bolts beating Washington last night in Game 3 of the best-of-7 series. The Lightning hanging on to beat Washington 4-2 and can tie the series at 2 games apiece with a win tomorrow night. Team captain Steven Stamkos says they'll still have plenty of confidence even after those first 2 losses.
We knew we weren't good enough, and credit to them. They played really good hockey the first 2 games, and we needed to make some adjustments. We did that. We worked on it. The coaching staff did a great job of preparing us, and the players went out and did what we were told and saw how good we can be in the previous rounds if we play the right way. And tonight, for the most part, I thought we did that, and we got rewarded.
And the Rays going for the sweep of the Royals in Kansas City this afternoon. In the first 5 minutes, the Rays scored 2 on a line drive single to right field, setting the tone for the rest of the game. At the bottom of the 9th, the Royals swing as the Rays get the win. The final score, 5-3. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Accolades are great. Just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, Meghan Markle now has another set of shoulders to lean on. Her mother arrived in London today. Her father, though, underwent heart surgery today, according to TMZ, and will not be able to make it to her wedding. Prince George and Princess Charlotte will be in the bridal party, along with 8 other children that'll be in the proceedings. Of course, some mystery still surround the wedding, like what Meghan Markle will be wearing and if there'll be any nods to Princess Diana during the ceremony. Of course, we'll keep you updated as details come in, but you can watch the entire ceremony live right here on ABC7 Saturday morning, starting at 5 a.m. So bright and early, set your alarm clocks if you're interested in watching it.
A lot of people are, too. I understand that it's a big deal for most, and unfortunately, not me. I'm not going to be up for that, no. We are looking at some scattered showers tomorrow morning around 5 a.m. You could see some. The rain chance of 40% tomorrow. There'll be a mixture of sun and clouds and kind of a breezy day. Better chances for scattered storms late in the day for the coast on Saturday and Sunday. All
right, well, if we could have a good day like today, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thanks, Bob. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good night.
Picking out a new ceiling fan?